Hey guys, it's Kugli again with another ROM review, and this time I've got the Flyme version 2.5 for the Nexus 5, so stay tuned for that. So guys, Flyme OS. Now this is one of the most beautiful ROMs available for any device right now, and the one I'm reviewing right now is the official version. So this is lagging behind considerably on the OS update version, but still it's a really great ROM nonetheless. So let's get started. Now first of all, what you would see here is the stock lock screen. So you can see the carrier label and battery and everything is displayed there with the time and date, and you can swipe up to unlock the device. Now here we have the lock screen, which is pretty the launcher, which is a really awesome, and the signature Flyme three button dock, which is pretty awesome to have. So that is really nice to have. You can also customize the stuff here. You can actually have do a lot of stuff with this one. Now being this is a Chinese ROM, just like MIUI, and this is actually designed for the Meizu phones. So if you haven't heard of the Meizu MX series of phones, really awesome phones. I have used them and I really appreciate the amount of work put into the ROM. So that's really awesome. And yeah, that is pretty much it about the ROM. Now let's get started. Now first of all, in the settings menu, I'll go to the about phone page and show you guys that this is for the Nexus 5, and it is Android version is 5.0.2, which is, well, of course it's a very old version of Android, and right now 6 is out, and I am hoping that the Flyme OS is going to move up at least up till 5.1. So yeah, that is something there. That is the Flyme version. I actually said 2 point something. It is 4.5. Sorry about that, but it is 4.5.3.3R. It's the latest version available right now. So yeah, that's it in the about phone page. Now let's get started. Now first of all, it does have in the personalization option, it does have Flyme style icons, so you can actually change the icons and stuff like that. So that is really awesome. You do have icons here, and all of these are Flyme-ish, what I would say. It does have a lot of things there. Let's get back to the Play Store. It does have theme support, which is really awesome. You can actually try a few themes from here. I'm just going to show you guys the keyboard also, which is pretty cool. It also has a neat trick where if you swipe down, it will give you basically it will also give you a lot of stuff here. So that's really awesome. You do have a lot of stuff here which you can use, and you can actually work. Theming is simple, and just as you know it with any other ROM like MIUI or anything else, you can just download the theme, apply the theme, and it will work. So that is something which I really like. The stuff you can theme is I will just show you guys what all stuff can be themed. The lock screen, main screen, third party widgets and all that, the icons, dialer and SMS all are themed. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This is the base theme, so you can actually use that, and it's also really nice to have. So pretty nice. Online wallpapers, system wallpapers, this is where you can change the system wallpapers. It does have a lot of wallpaper options, and I really like this because they work. And yeah, it's really beautiful to have stuff like this to work. So this is really nice to have. I'm gonna set this as my lock screen wallpaper, and it should be my lock screen wallpaper. So yeah, you can also change into the gallery wallpaper. You can select your gallery and check stuff there. Live wallpaper also is supported, so if you install live wallpaper, you can actually have that. Now Flyme, it does have a service where you can actually use the Flyme account, use your Flyme account and do stuff with it. So it's actually something there, so you can actually have that. So that's really nice to have. I have actually flashed the GApps package. Doesn't seem to be quite there, but in its defense, I flashed GApps package for 5.1.1 and 6.0. I couldn't find a 5.0.1 package already on my phone. I had to download it, but I did not. But if anything is to go by my S3, I had used Flyme OS on my S3 and it was pretty cool. I could actually flash that, so yeah, I'm not really entirely problematic about that, so yeah, pretty nice. It does have mobile data. Mobile data does work. I have actually used it with the 3UK SIM card and it does work. NFC is working. You can actually select the NFC tags in here and it can actually have that tap to play, and all that can be enabled. Pretty nice to have. Wi-Fi hotspot, VPN, network operation selection, searches, all that can be done from here, so that's really nice. Wi-Fi connectivity, just simple. Bluetooth, simple. Sounds option. In the sounds option, you do have a few extra sound options, so you can actually hear that. So you do have a lot of stuff. You can also have a Flyme music here, so that's really nice to have. And the phone ringtones, all that. You can actually have a lot of stuff here, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Now system sounds. In the system sounds, you can actually enable all of this. Camera shutter sound if you don't want that, keyboard sound, dial pad, all of that can be disabled if you do not want any of them, so that's really nice to have. In the display options, you can actually set the brightness of the screen, so I normally keep it something really low. Dynamic blurring. Dynamic blurring is basically when you are swiping through stuff, it will actually blur everything, so you will have a visually pleasing design. You can also turn it up lower or higher depending on what you want, so that's also really awesome. Auto lock, you can select that. Font size, normal and small. You do have small option, which was pretty nice, but it doesn't really get small enough for me, but that's a personal issue nonetheless, so yeah. Battery. Now battery was a really good feature for this. I mean, I have used this for some time and the battery life does seem to be working really nicely. I mean, I was able to get more than a day with light usage. Yeah, I'm only going to use a light usage case scenario for this phone because yeah, daily driver and all that stuff, but with light usage I can probably get through more than a day of usage with this, so that's really nice to have. It is widescreen and LCD, widescreen, AMOLED, black screen, all that stuff, so yeah. You do have accessibility settings and security settings, so you can actually application lock with a password inbuilt, so this is really nice and I really appreciate that. I'm going to put this as a lock password, and you can actually lock, I don't know, camera. I wanna lock the camera application because I don't want anyone to use camera on my phone without my knowledge, so you can actually have that. Also vault is another feature which is a file sharing feature, so you can actually move stuff to the vault by which those things get blocked. You cannot use them from gallery or from file manager, so anything cannot be used with that one, so that is something really cool. Allow application from third-party sources, notification access for application, so that all of that is available. Location services, basic stuff. Language and time. Now you can actually enable Google keyboard, automatic date and time, all that can be this stuff. It is basic normal stuff, so I'm not going to get too much into that. Application access, you can force stop, you can actually uninstall stuff from here also, so that's really nice to have. Uninstall, all of that is available. Permission management, it does have a permission management where you can actually use this to actually manage the permissions on this ROM, so that is really awesome for applications. Now it does have in the accessibility settings, it's something called Smart Touch, which is a very cool feature. Tinted desktop, of course, you can actually have that. Current network speed can be disabled here, so that enabled here, so that's also awesome. Full screen access for application and multitask, so that you can also have that. This is something which I want to talk about. Smart Touch, it replaces the app bar, the nav bar with this bobby thing, so you can actually use this to do stuff. I mean, swipe from here, swipe from here, swipe here, well, swipe here to go back to application, swipe here to go front of the application. All of that can be customized from here. Tap to back, double tap to close, all that can be customized here. So yeah, this is a really awesome feature. I really appreciate that. If you actually do take the time to understand this and get this to work the way you want, this can result in a very clean interface without the ugly the nav bar, so that's really awesome to have, and I really appreciate that. Now let's get to the application settings menu. That is it doesn't have a janky features which you may have seen somewhere else, but it does not have that. It does have the upgrade feature, which checks for new versions of the ROM automatically and downloads it for you to flash at the time you need it to be. So that's also really awesome to have. Now personalization is the theming feature, so you do have the theme option here. Life. Now what is life? This is basically, well, I'm not really sure if you can understand this because it's all in Chinese. I sure cannot understand it, but this is a tool for people to have, so that's really nice to have. This is the document viewer, which is pretty awesome. It is basically a file viewer, and this is a vault, which I have gotten this as the password. You can move some stuff to the vault where you can actually encrypt everything. Nothing will be visible and all that, so that's really nice to have. So pretty nice. Calculator is themed. All of them are themed, and as you would probably guess, it is a themed ROM. So yeah, recorder is really beautifully themed, and I really appreciate that, so that's really nice to have. Painter, you can have a painter application where you can take notes. I normally use this painter application to take notes because this is much more easier to have than normal stuff, so that's really nice to have. So yeah, really nice. Download and smart voice. This smart voice is actually really cool. This is basically S voice for people who know how to speak Chinese and know how to read Chinese. So yeah, that counts me out. That's really nice to have. Now something which I really appreciate, these small things, the calendar is actually showing the date today, which is 27th February, 27th of Friday, and that is something which I really appreciate. I really like that. It also has a reader application, which is basically a clone of the Google Reader application. You can also subscribe to RSS feed, which is really awesome. You can actually enable your own RSS feeds which you normally use, so that's really nice to have. Camera. Now camera application, as I've said, I have actually used that. Camera application is really awesome. You have a, basically everything is changed. The nav bar is now changed to a control screen, I guess, and you have photo sizes, you have countdown, store location, grid lines to enable, level gauge. Level gauge is really awesome. Level gauge is basically this one, which changes according to what you need, and that is really awesome. It does give you a lot of functions here. It does have a manual mode. It does have a scan mode, which you can use to scan barcodes. It does have a panorama mode where you can use panorama. It does have a manual mode, but the only option you get in the manual mode is exposure compensation, which is basically not a very good manual mode, but this is what you get, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, in the music option, you do have a few music options. It does integrate itself with, I guess, Baidu Music, so you will be able to listen to all the Baidu songs and all that. It also has a security center, which is basically a cleanup and antivirus and all that stuff rolled into one thing. So I really like this. Cleaner is really cool. It does scan for the caches and get stuff done. Large file cleaner, it searches for large files and gets stuff done. App manager, data manager, antivirus, permissions, all that can be customized from here, so that's really nice. Now, as I've said, I've tried to flash the Play Store, but I was not able to get Play Store working. Just closes on me. I'm not really sure why, but applications does seem to work, so I'm not entirely sure why Play services are not working, but hey, it is kind of known fact that Play services are not going to play nice with stuff there. So yeah, I'm not really sure. Let me show you guys the Antutu benchmark, even though we are here. So yeah, so guys, there you have it. That is the score which I received, which is about what you would expect out of a stock based ROM, and it is pretty awesome for the fact that this is a 5.0.1 ROM, so that is really awesome. So yeah, let me also show you guys the boot animation, which I really appreciate, and also this thing, which is, I guess it's taken from iPhone, but I don't care, but it's really awesome. So guys, there is the Flyme boot animation. Of course, without the jumping, it would be really awesome to have, and it spins around, so that's really nice to have. So guys, there you have it. That is a Flyme OS ROM for the Nexus 5. I really like this ROM because it is a very beautiful ROM for what it is, and it is really stable, and you get a lot of performance out of it, so that's something really cool. Okay, a few other gripes. GApps couldn't work on this because I couldn't actually get it working. Maybe with another GApps package it might work, but I couldn't get that to work. Routing wasn't really as simple as just flashing the SuperZoo updater package. I did flash that, it didn't work, so I might try and do something about that. I'm not really sure how, but I might. And yeah, that much is it. This is for someone who wants beauty over functionality. This is a really beautiful ROM and a really good daily driver, but that much is it about it. So I guess that much is it about the ROM. Hope you guys liked the video. Please share, subscribe, and like the video if you found it useful. See you guys next time. Bye.